and the man killed her, put her under the bed, went to work, and then came back and buried her. If you are gonna go somewhere, if you're gonna go out with somebody, whether it be the first time or if you've already known them, but if things were like on a bad note or whatever the case is, always let somebody know where you're going, because you never know what might happen. It's just for your safety. So I was just going through like my WhatsApp, and you know how you can update your status and stuff. One of my friends updated her status, and the lady who was on it, I knew her, and her status was saying RIP. So I was like, what happened to her? And she told me that the lady went to look for a man, and the man killed her, put her under the bed, went to work, and then came back and buried her body. And it made my heart drop. And this is why. Like, how do you consciously kill somebody, put their body underneath your bed, and then go to work and come back to bury the person? That person, oh my gosh. And the worst part of it all is I know the girl because I've met her before through my friend. It is such a sad situation, and she said, my friend was saying that she told the girl not to go to see the guy, because you have your girlfriends and you will tell them stuff about a guy you're dating or about a guy you're talking to. So, they must have had some conversations about the guy while my friend told her not to go. So my friend said when she was going, she didn't tell her. And now to see that she went and, she's dead, it's so sad. And I was saying to my friend, sometimes God gives us warning signs through other people. And I'm just like, you telling her not to go was a warning sign. Because, sometimes God gives us signs and we ignore them because that's not what we want to hear. And sometimes people tell us things that we don't want to hear too, and we also ignore that. So sometimes it's like God has to bring in a third party to tell us the very same thing he's been trying to show us this whole time. And now, like, even though it's one of the worst times to even say it, it's like if she had listened, she would still be here today. It's such a sad situation. And the worst part of it all is she has 3 kids, because my friend says she has 3 kids, and one of her daughters look like she's either 9 to like 12, 13. And it's so sad. I was saying, when it's easier for a girl to live without her father, it's so much harder for her to live without a mom, because mothers are able to relate with their daughters on a different level. There's so many things that while a girl wouldn't go to her dad with it, she'd feel more comfortable going to her mom with it. And it's just so sad that she's no longer here and her kids are just there. I always say one of my biggest fears is losing my mom, my daughter, and my husband. Like, that's one of my biggest fears. I say it all the time. I don't want to be a widow. I don't want to lose my mom. I don't want to lose my daughter. I don't know what I would do with myself, like, if I lost those 3 people, honestly, because they are like the single most important people in my life right now, and I can't see myself living without them. And just to imagine a child, being motherless, it's just so sad. Like, I feel even worse just because I know her. I've met her. I've had like a brief conversation with her before. It's just so sad. Sometimes you have to be careful of the men who you talk to, because I don't even know what to say. Like, it's so sad. It's so sad. It's honestly so sad. And I can't imagine how hard it is for my friend, because it's so hard dealing with death. And it could be anybody. And she and the girl, they were close, so it's so much harder, because it's somebody who she would talk to on a daily basis. It's just so sad. You literally have to be careful and when you go somewhere too, if you're gonna meet somebody for the first time, or probably even if it's not the first time, like if things ended on a bad note the last time you were there and you're gonna go back, like, you have to let somebody know, because anything could happen. And just the fact that I'm talking about it, I know people may be wondering where this happened. How did they find her? Because I was asking the same questions too. So it happened in Jamaica. My friend said somebody knew that she went there. And it's like, when she didn't come back, then they started investigating and whatever. And of course, the guy is in police custody and everything right now, probably locked up at this point. I don't feel like it's like to go into the full details and everything. I don't feel like it's my place to do that because it's just a terrible time, but what I do is I share what happens on a daily basis in my life, and I saw this and it affects me in some type of way because this is death, of course, and I know the person. So I decided to like talk briefly about it. And it's such a big thing. My friend was telling me that it's even on the news, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. I mean, of course, if somebody killed someone, then it's something big, but oh my gosh, it's on the news and everything. It's like such a huge deal. Like, oh my gosh, the fact alone that you killed the girl is a huge deal. But it's sad. It's very sad. I think it's safe to say if I don't eat in the morning, I'm a grumpy person. So what's this? Oh, so this morning I woke up and I was already so grumpy, and then I'm like, okay, let me just get some coffee. Okay, I had no Nescafe to make my coffee because of course yesterday I didn't go outside to like buy the Nescafe. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? There were some, the sugary thing where you put in the coffee but it's sugar. I put that in there and that didn't work. So yesterday I had to I couldn't have that because it wasn't good. So this morning I had to use sugar. So I had some black coffee. Now, first of all, black coffee is not my favorite, but at this point I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'll take any coffee because it's better than having none. So right now I'm in a little bit of a better mood, but I still feel like I want that coffee. So I'm either gonna have to go and get the Nescafe later because I cannot function like this. It's so serious, and I didn't realize it until now when I literally don't have it and I don't know how to function. I feel like I was gonna burst out in tears this morning just because I didn't. If you're Jamaican, you know that they say tea fixes everything, like tea or coffee or whatever. So I've grown up with that thought. So now it's like, this is what I live by. If I don't have tea in the morning or if I don't have a cup of coffee in the morning, I'm gonna crumble. The thought of being a New Yorker and, living in New York is all fun and games until you realize that you have to deal with New York's bipolar weather. Like, you will get snow every week. For the past 3 weeks, it's been snowing at least one day out of every week. Just when you feel like you're over all the snow and the cold weather, the next thing you know, it's so cold your balls are freezing off one day, and the next day it tricks you into thinking, oh, it's summer. It's so ridiculous. So everybody is always so, oh, I want to live the American dream. I want to live in New York City, this, that, and the third, until you realize how cold it is sometimes and how crazy the weather is, seriously. First half of the video was recorded last. The second half of the video was recorded first, but I just flipped it. Like, this is where I'm gonna wrap up this video. It's already such a sad and cheerless day. Thank you guys so much for watching, and of course, if you enjoy this video, thumbs it up. Share it with somebody if you think this will help somebody, at least the first half, because the second half is like my regular vlog. If you are gonna go somewhere, if you're gonna go out with somebody, whether it be the first time or if you've already known them, but if things were on a bad note or whatever the case is, always let somebody know where you're going, because you never know what might happen. It's just for your safety. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and of course, make sure you thumbs it up, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.